Hey guys, back again with another Pokemon investing tips and tricks video. Today we're specifically going to be looking over Gold Star Pokemon cards from the EX era. Now for those of you who don't know what Gold Star cards are, there were sets back in the early 2000s when Pokemon wasn't really doing too hot, where they would have these extremely rare cards where there would be one, maybe two if you were really lucky in a booster box. So here on screen we just have a few of them. Actually there's the whole list of them. We can go through them slowly, but this is the order that they were released in. And what they were, I'll show you in a second. They were 3D cards where the character, the Pokemon sprites would be popping out of the frame of the card. And they were all shiny Pokemon. So these were extremely rare, very hard to find back in the day. And we're gonna see today if these are actually Pokemon cards worth investing in for the long run, because there has been a lot of hype around them and their prices have just blown up over the past couple of weeks, months. So first, I want to start with the 3 cards that are absolutely not worth investing in. So what you guys can see here on screen is we have the 3 legendary dogs, and they came out of the EX Unforeseen Forces booster box. And the reason why I'm saying this is that if these cards are actually so rare, where people will be willing to invest so much money into them, hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars, depending on which PSA grade you go for. And disclaimer, we're going to be focusing on PSA 9s and 10s. Those are the cards that I believe are the only ones worthwhile investing in for reasonable ROIs, return on investments. I'm an advocate, and I will always tell you before you buy a Pokemon card, look at the population report. That is single-handedly the most important thing to look at when you are investing in a Pokemon card. Why is Charizard First Edition Shadowless such an expensive and desirable card? Well, because there's less than 100 of them in the world, and the people who do list them, the market's not flooded. We don't see that in this case with Gold Star cards. Even though they were so rare back in the day to pull, we can see here, all of these legendary dogs, they're either at 600 or close to 600 in a PSA 9, and then some of them even have, I mean, they're all above 200 in a PSA 10. That's dangerous prices. That's dangerous price points to be investing in, because a lot of people can undercut you now, and I can even show you right now. So we can see all of the PSA 10s for an Entei are above $1,000. It's even went up to 1,500, it looks like. And then we can see here for the Suicune, around similar price range, it looks like $1,750, and then $1,525 for the Raikou. And then for the PSA 9s, it's around the $500 to $600 range, as we can see here. So if these cards are so worth investing in, that means that there's a lot of demand for them, right? Well, let's take a look here. If that were the case, then if we simply go on eBay and just look at the market right now, we can see how many of these cards are actually being listed on eBay. Like, this isn't, these Gold Star cards aren't that rare to find. Like, if you want and if you had the money, you can pretty much go on eBay and buy a PSA 9 or a PSA 10. It's not something that I would suggest investing in, just because of looking. I can keep scrolling for about another 30 seconds and before I hit the bottom. That's how many of these cards are on the market. So it's just going to be a matter of time before somebody really wants to start selling their cards and make a quick buck, that they're going to start undercutting each other by a few $100s. And that's pretty dangerous, especially if you're one of these people who hold these cards and you're expecting for them to go up in price. I'm not sure if they're going to really go up in price. And this is pretty impressive. I'm still scrolling down even. I mean, this is crazy, like how many of these are actually up here. So this indicates to me that even though back in the day that this set pulling Gold Star cards was really rare back in the day, a lot of those people held those cards, graded them, held on to them, and now they realize, oh, it's their time to shine. No pun intended for the shiny Pokemon. But now the market's just flooded with them, and some of them are just crazy prices that I really do think you're going to see a correction, and where these prices are going to just fall down. And then that falls true for a lot of other Gold Star cards. I mean, if you just simply look up Gold Star cards, and that was a PSA, so like now we can look at BGS. There are still plenty of BGS cards out there in various different grades. The market's just absolutely flooded regardless of which grading company you go for. And I didn't even look up CGC. I mean, that's another grading company that's been gaining traction for over the past few years. And now we land on this bad guy right here, Regirock. And I starred him because I want to keep my eye on him, because this is what I'm suggesting to you guys. I think that there is an upside to Gold Star cards, and a few of them have actually reached their potential and rarity. All right, so now what we see here are the 3 Reggie legendaries. We have Registeel, Regirock, and Regice. Now, this population report is something more desirable for me. I'd feel more comfortable if you told me, hey, if you're gonna invest in a Gold Star card, which one would you invest in? I would tell you to simply go for these ones. But, and there's a huge but, the reason why these cards are not that desirable is because these legendary Pokemon happen to be fairly unpopular in the Pokemon world. People don't really remember these. These are kind of forgotten legendary Pokemon. Not too many people will be like, yeah, they're definitely in my top 5 legendary Pokemon of all time. You don't really hear that too often, especially with me when I was a kid. I never put these guys in my starting 6 when I was going ahead and trying to beat the gym leaders or battle my friends. That was just me. I was never attracted to these Pokemon, and then the population reports also tell you the same thing, where a lot of people didn't think of getting these cards graded back then because simply they either didn't care for them, they didn't think they'd be popular enough, or they didn't even pull them. So the fact that the population report for these ones are low makes it more attractive for me to invest in. So if we look at the price, we can even see a drop in the Registeel price, very slightly though. 2,500, that's a stretch. Okay, I really don't think right now at that price point, that's purely because of the Pokemon boom and the hype that's going on. And we can see that it dropped to 1,500. That's a $1,000 drop in just a few months. And that was back in 2020. This is just PSA, so BGS, you're gonna be paying a premium because of how pristine and nice and elegant, how hard it is to get better grades with BGS versus PSA. That'd be a reason why you see less of them in a BGS, but right now we're gonna be focusing on PSA. And then in a PSA 9, you see that price point is steadily rising. It went from the 300 to the 500 range. That is more of a comfortable organic grow in my opinion, instead of something just going boom, going straight up like that, like the PSA 10, for example. I mean, you going up from 340 from the last sale to 2,500 in just a couple of years, you can't tell me that the whole entire world all of a sudden got, you know, a Registeel fan club going on, and that's the reason why the price is driving up. It's simply because it's a Gold Star card. So I'm not telling you to invest in this card, but if you were to look into a Gold Star card, I do think a lot of them are going to be seeing retraces. The market's absolutely flooded with them. We just saw it on eBay. So many different grades are also listed on there, where it's just really driving down the price. The higher the population, guys, the more chances of other people undercutting your price, which can hurt your investment for the long run. So if you ever want to invest in a card, go for a 9 or a 10, and then understand that the reason why these cards that are going up in price so expensively, like the you know, PSA 10 or 9 Charizard First Edition Shadowless, for example, that's a fan favorite card. You need to go for cards that are fan favorites, that have traction, people enjoy them. Their price, you want to assess, have they reached their price ceiling for this time period? Do they have potential to grow? Those are important questions to ask. And these 3 guys right here, they have a very low population size. But the downside is that I don't know how big of a fan base is behind these 3 legendary Pokemon where you would be willing to invest in so much money in right now. The good news is that if you are a PSA 10 collector, that means that, let's say, for example, somebody wants to collect all of the PSA 10 cards in the world. Well, that means only 44 people can complete their PSA 10 Gold Star collections because simply of Regice right here. There's 44 of them. Okay, well, 78 people can hold a Regirock and a 64 can hold, you know, a Registeel. But really, only 44 people can potentially complete getting every single Gold Star in a PSA 10. So in the long run, if you're one person who owns that card, you could be selling it upscale in the long run for that one person who's going to chase his collection, getting all the cards he needs to, you know, do whatever he needs to do with those cards. That could be a reason why somebody would be going after this card, not strictly because they just want to sell the card because they think it's worth a couple $1,000s. That's just, in my opinion, that's not practical. So yeah, guys, that's my opinions on Gold Star cards. They're really cool cards. You can see the 3D, you know, images I was talking about earlier, but they are flooding the market, so be careful when you're buying these. Really assess the population report. And yeah, that's some quick tips and tricks to look into before investing in a card. I followed that and I've made some decent money during the Pokemon boom. So if you guys do that, I think you'll be all right. Consider the popularity of the Pokemon as well. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed that, leave a like, comment down below which Gold Star card would you want to have in your collection. I can tell you right now that PSA 10 Charizard, that's crazy. I'll see you guys in the next investing tips and tricks episode. Thank you so much.